Hey now, are you okay? How are you feeling? Steady now. Your body isn't doing so great at the moment. Because of the blood exchange, the sickness shouldn't kill you anymore, thankfully. But you're still weak and need to recover. You'll be feeling its effects for a little bit longer before the blood makes you resistant to it. And I bet you're feeling better without the restraints, huh? Look at you. Curled up under the blanket I gave you. So much smaller and more fragile than usual. It's almost as if you've never felt such comfort before. But don't worry. As long as your behavior isn't problematic, there shouldn't be any issues. Hey now. Look at me. Now that we've done the initial part of the ritual, you can relax. For now. To be honest, it doesn't look like you have the strength to do much else, neither at the moment. Must have really had an effect on you, huh? Hey now. There's no need to flinch when I come near. I told you you'll be fine now. I mean, you're one of us. Surely, that should be something to rejoice over as opposed to looking so scared. And now that you're like me, there's no need for us to fight anymore. We aren't enemies anymore, darling. I mean, it's not like you can go back to your own village anymore now, even if you did manage to escape. They'd never accept you as you are now. If you went back, you'd be cast away and considered a monster. And even if they did accept you, you'd just end up killing them off. Even if you didn't mean to. You're a spreader of the plague now, darling. You're stuck with me, and I'm afraid there's nothing you can do about it. But it's not the worst thing, is it? I mean, yes, I took you here against your will and forced you to become something you didn't like, but it's not all bad, you know. It could be a lot worse. You could be dying, for example. I could be watching you die right now. You know what? I don't think I really understand you. To be honest, I kind of thought doing this would make you happier to be here. Now it'll be easier for you to fit in down here. Even if we do have more human features than the others. And it means you aren't in pain anymore. I won't have to watch you waste away, and you won't have to go through it. See? This was a good thing. Besides, I don't know why you'd be so adamant on dying anyway. Don't you care about the kinds of consequences that would have had? Your family missing you is the least of my worries. I care more about me missing you. You might not care much for me, but I fear for you. I've told you time and time again how much I want you to be mine and how much I want us to belong to each other, but it's not like any of this is out of the blue. Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you why. Not right now. You wouldn't understand, but I hope I'm able to get my point across anyway. Oh. I'm going to have to leave the room soon, but if it happens to be the reason, don't sabotage yourself to try and get to me. It helps no one. If you truly care about your friends and family, you'd know better than that. I say this mainly because if you were gone, you wouldn't be around to know what I'd do to them. Sure, I'm slowly starving them and making them sick, but believe me, And I could do a lot worse. And guess what? Without you around, there'd be nobody to tell me not to. So keep that in mind, okay? I won't leave you long. Don't worry. So, why did you summon me, demon?
If it isn't the Rat King himself.
Did you need me for something? Do you have some task that needs carrying out?
Rat King.
Or perhaps you wanted a status report?
No. I happen to have some free time and so to check up on you. And from the looks of it, I was right too. Seems you could use some advice. That human you decided to keep. You attempted to tell them, weren't you? About how you first met them.
Well, I just thought maybe if they had an idea...
Do you really think they'd like you after that?
I
mean, I am a demon after all. But even I can tell what's a bad idea. You know the reason, don't you? They rescued you when you were small and helpless. Now that you're much bigger and stronger thanks to me, albeit, do you really think they'd care about a time when you weren't? I mean, this is just me speculating after all, but if I were them, I'd think whoever was telling me such a thing was weak. Rat customs aren't too different from choosing a mate. When it comes to deciding to go for the most powerful, of course everyone's going to be eager to find the best partner they can. Do you think humans get caught in traps like that very often? You'll only appear as a fool if you mention it.
But what if it helped them understand? Understand why I did all this in the first place. Why I chose them.
You did all of this to become stronger, Sturgis. Kidnapping them for information was a good move. If they're scared, they're more likely to listen. Do not allow yourself to lose power over them just because you think they should know.
It's a shame. They freed me from a trap before I even became like this. But I can't even let them know that I'm grateful. I wouldn't be here if they hadn't helped me then.
Not only were you assisted by them, you also watched them for a while after that, didn't you? Look, you're a vile beast, Rat King. They already know that from first-hand experience. Now, to me, you're a promising asset from what you've done so far. But to them, you're just some oversized rodent. Don't force them to see you as a pathetic creep as well.
But I'm not pathetic. Look what I've done so far. If I really was pathetic, I wouldn't have been able to achieve half of what I have.
Are you trying to argue with me, Rat King?
No. That's not what I meant at all. I'd never try to argue with you, of course, demon.
Good. I'd expect you to be wiser than that. Let's just say, don't forget who put you where you are now. We wouldn't want you to lose all that you have just because of some little disagreement now, would we?
Of course not.
Good. Then you understand. That's all, Rat King. You're free to go.
Understood. Hey, darling. I said I'd be back, didn't I? Did you miss me? There. Any to answer. It's been kind of an eventful day for you, hasn't it? How about tonight I keep you warm? Hmm? And I'd hate for you to feel cold and alone on your first night as something not quite human. Stay still. I'm going to pick you up and take you somewhere more comfortable. Don't wriggle around too much, okay? Here we go. Don't worry. I'll take good care